Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today is the meeting number 453. Just a reminder to silence your cell phones and any mobile devices. And if you have to get up, do so quietly so that we are not disturbing the speakers. So I want to start off the meeting by thanking Chris for upgrading our equipment. We have a new camera, extension cord, a new mic setup, so it makes it easier for the online audience. And then fixing this, the podium. So I think Ray, you could you could hit the books here. So so thanks, Chris, always keeping us on the cutting edge of technology. So appreciate that. I wanted to ask a question to everyone. This is something that I've learned during my Toastmaster journey. So just wanted to ask and get input. How many of you or who has not participated in a meeting because they are unsure? Like, let's say if there's a meeting of 5 or 10 people, who has not kind of been afraid to speak up or something has stopped them from speaking up? How many? Can you show a raise of hands? Okay.
In any situation?
In any situation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give me a reason why, like, why you didn't? Sure.
I think I won't care what I say.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. Anyone else? Like, I just want a few reasons. So
I think it's not prepared.
that's a good one. Yeah. Chris?
Sometimes I don't want to give the perception I'm saying too much, too many times.
Interesting.
Too much.
Okay. Anyone else or?
Yeah, I think I shared the first day I came here, but basically in meeting, initially I used to be very technical. So other than technical, I did not understand perspective of other people who are coming to meetings. So it was I was unsure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. And then Alex?
Certainly, if I assess the situation right or not, and second, not sure like what's the right way, like amount of speech I can give without being annoying.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
not obvious
That's good, yeah.
Talking right, it sounds yourself logical, but later on you evaluate it, see like you can say too much. Or too,
Yeah.
you know.
No, that's a good. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe the audience, I don't feel like it's supportive audience.
Yeah, that's also a good reason. And then Ray, you had a reason or?
It was mainly just a lack of preparation.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main key reasons, I think. But I just wanted to, anyone else? Anyone else? Or, yeah, go ahead.
I'm interested in the conversation.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we all have a reason, so yeah. Yeah, so not interested in the conversation. Yeah.
Depends. But mostly it's with the exemptions.
Yeah, so we all have our reasons, and these are the reasons that that stopped me talking, like lack of confidence, accent, unsure about the expertise. Those are some of the reasons. Finding the right words or finding the right structure to say things in. And I think the answer to all this is preparation and practice. And I feel like if we prepare, even if it's a 10-minute preparation before a meeting, based on the topic and having some thoughts and like, maybe 3 things in your mind, I think that can help. And also, let's say if you're presenting to like some manager, then having prepared for like what questions they might ask based on the topic of the meeting, that can also help. So anyway, what I wanted to share is preparation is key, and it has helped me with meetings. And it's great to know everyone's reasons. So thanks for sharing. And the last thing I wanted to share is there are open roles for area director at the district level. So if anyone is interested, I can talk in more detail later, but if anyone is interested in becoming an area director to improve their leadership skills, let me know and I can put your name in. So we have a lot of good candidates here, but yeah, it's a volunteer. So if you guys are interested, let me know. So that's all. So with that, I'll hand it over to our Madam President. So, Maria.
Right. Thank you, Shrek. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. We don't have guests today, only Toastmasters, right? My name is Maria Kovaleva, and I'm a life coach and a current president of the club. Current till the end of June, so I wanted to remind everybody who are interested and can be committed to officers' roles, please let us know. And it's really a great opportunity to grow as a leader, and it's a safe place. I can reassure. Well, I wanted to start with recognizing that the moon is in Sagittarius. And the theme of freedom is in the air. And I wanted to make your attention or grab your attention to this door. What do you feel about this door? Does it look like magical one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. For some of you, it already looks like magical one. This is the door to freedom. This is the door to freedom from fear of speech, from your doubts, how you present yourself, from whatever we already talked right now, thanks to Chirac to bring this topic, how many things can stop us from speaking, from presenting, from sharing our vision. And this is the door to train yourself to be free of all of this by practicing. And with this, I will open today's meeting. Let's proceed to our growth. Thank you. Dear Toastmasters, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Great job, great opening. You're always throwing curveballs at us with very inspirational ideas. I love that. And Shira, great job kicking us off. A lot of interaction from our members tonight. I love that. Giving us some lessons, some tips. I remember when you were a brand new member, Maria, and you came in kind of quiet, kind of just reading the room. And then you raised your hand. You said, I'll be present. We were looking at each other like, we need a president. Sure. And you came in, we supported you, and you've been doing amazing the whole time. So thank you. Yeah, friendly reminder, officers, it's not, a crazy burden for your lives. We have the president, which is a lot of fun. If you have a vision for the club where you think, you think you can elevate it to the next level, let us know. If you'd like to practice like Shirag, being the person that always opens up the meeting with a certain type of energy, then that's a good role for Sergeant of Arms. If you're like me and you want a smoother onboarding process for prospective members or existing members, VP of membership. So there's a lot of different ways that we can contribute to everything working smoothly and being a great experience for all. Okay. So we're gonna have a good time tonight. I think we had a long opening, but I just wanted to say that Tom, thank you for suggesting the book Story Worthy by Matthew Dix. It's been really a great read. I was thinking, oh, Tom's reading about stories and the structure of stories. That's great. And then I was going through my presentation, my project, and I will do my next speech next week. And it's about leadership, because someone called me out and said, Ray said, hey, I haven't heard you do a speech in a while, so I want you to do one. And I said, I don't want to do a speech on work, on mentoring and menteeing, and I have all these things, but it's a little dry, it's a little awkward. Why don't I do a speech on the trials and tribulations of being a parent? Because a lot of times you need to be a leader in your family or a leader with your children. And sometimes you lose your cool and you have a bad day or you have a good day. And I'm going to tell you all about a story about us going out to dinner and everything that happened at the restaurant and before and after. And the book really talks about, we have so many stories in our lives. It's like dander in the air, it's described. And we can go through a process of capturing those every day on an Excel sheet or a journal, and just a couple sentences. If I was to make a story about the events that happened today, what would that story be and why? And it's meaningful. It's because it's our own experiences. People want to hear about our perspective, right? What we went through, our emotions related to that. They don't want to hear about your vacation, right? Unless there is a change, usually. Kind of a vacation and just an experience is like it's an antidote. It's just kind of like this just occurred. But they said a good story needs change over time too. Like Ray, hit the books. his struggles, you know, his perseverance through school, just everything he did and how he continues to be a lifelong learner, right? And that's why you're here today. You have a lot of other places you could be, but you're here tonight. All right, so check out that book, Story Worthy. I'm excited to kind of integrate some of the learnings that I made it about a third of about a third, but I think it's going to make, my research and how I put together my speeches a lot more interesting in the future.
Yeah.
Matthew Dix. There's actually, it's called like Moth Slam, Mothball Clubs. They're like on the East Coast. People go to like bars and a bunch of hipsters are there and people just get up and their name is drawn out of a hat and they have a story. It's like a 5 to 7. I was like, that sounds like Toastmasters. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Okay. So we'll do that. Quickly with our functionaries, Ray, come on up here, talk to us about being the timer, sir. Round of applause for Ray.
Thank you, Toastmasters. Yes, nice to have you back.
Likewise.
Yeah. Good evening, and forgive my lack of preparation, but I didn't have a chance to go over the like the timer role per se, the times and everything. So if you guys could just help me out, it's red. Or so for the speeches, it's 4 to 6 minutes. Is that right? 5 to 7 for the speeches tonight. And then for the table topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes.
Yep.
Okay. And evaluators are 3 minutes?
2 to 3.
2 to 3? Okay. And then for the speakers tonight, so when you hit, is it 5 minutes?
Mhm.
You get the yellow?
3.
Sorry, the green, okay. And when you hit 6 minutes, it's the yellow, and then red for the 7. And then for the table topics, it is what, green for a minute? Minute 30, and then 2 minutes. And I guess for the evaluators, we'll go 2 minutes, 2:30, and 3 minutes.
And you wait.
And I'll wave it,
Yeah.
yeah, so everybody can see.
Let us know.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it, Ray. Thank you. All right, all counter Shira, come on up here. It's about being the all counter.
Thank you. Of course. So I have proudly taken this role because I'm an expert at not counting hours, but at hours. So I'm going to be counting hours, arms, knows, and all the filler words. And I'll keep track. I won't be as detailed, but if you're more than five, then I'll say that. But yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it, Shira.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Don't crush our spirits on, okay? We all got those. Great job, Shira. Mary and Tom, talk to us about the word of the night. Artifice. Artifice, word of the day.
Thank you,
Good to
Chris.
see you.
Tom Bartesi, I'm a grammarian tonight. I'll be looking for just any phrases, use of words that stick out, grab my attention tonight, good or bad. And then the word of the day is artifice. Artifice. I'm not really familiar with this word. Artifice refers to dishonest or insincere behavior or skill that is meant to deceive someone. It can also be used to mean clever or artful skill. An example is, we found ourselves tremendously moved by his apology, which he made without artifice or pretense. So let's proceed tonight without artifice or pretense. Let's have a good time. Let's use this word, incorporate it. So when we go home, we start to use these bigger words and we impress our family and friends. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. And then they say, wait, where did that come from? Why are you saying that? All right, our last functionary, Alexi, with general evaluator. Please welcome Alexi.
So I'll try today a general evaluator role. This is my first time in this role. In general, I will give evaluation of today's meeting, roles in the meeting, how people perform, and how in general the meeting is conducted, and give my assessment of pros and cons, so maybe area to improve. So what we achieved today in general.
Thank you, Lexi.
As a team.
Perfect. And Lexi will be doing a speech tonight, speaker number 2. We have 1 or 2 open roles for evaluators, Tom. 1 open or 2 openings? Okay, so during that time, when we typically do an evaluation, we'll do round robin with the room with the 2 to 3 minutes that we have. And I think that our speakers prefer that actually sometimes to get a variety of opinions on their performance. All right, let's start us off with Ria, your secret weapon for fighting stress. Welcome, Ria.
Thank you. Today's speak, I already started my aha. Today's speak, I think I want to ask before I speak, is how many people heard my part 1?
Part 1.
Part 1, the half people heard my part 1. So this will be my part 2, your secret weapon of part 2. The part 1, I know most of your laugh a lot. This one, probably you wouldn't laugh because we missed the part 1. This one is more really the weapon of the teaching part. I'm ready when I count. Good evening, Toastmasters. Last time I shared my part 1 of your secret weapon of sorry, I will restart this. I thought I already said this one. We talk about preparation. I always think I already prepared, but then end, I didn't. Okay, I started. Over 40 million people in United States have anxiety, stress. Some people develop the anxiety before age 21 without aware of it. 10 years ago, I had experienced the panic twice a month. After that, I started sell everything, then going to travel the world to looking for the answer. That was my part 1. I speak the story. Today, I wanted to share the answers, the solution I found, that solution inside us. When you activate, when your internal vibration with the simple sound of ah, that can stimulate your vagus nerve, also can help you connect your fight-flight system, that help you reduce and release stress and lighten up your emotions. I was traveling in India, in Tibet. While I was traveling in Tibet, I was practiced just chanting the simple ah for 3 months with the monks. So this is repeated with the sounds of the ah. Each time we repeat, that have different frequency and triggers different part of our body that connect with our lungs, our heart, that help us to release the storing emotions, even release some trauma. Many times when we have stress, we will be using our mind to think about, I want to release that. I need to release that. But many times it's not working like the way. So what is your conscious mind still stress with that? What is your unconsciousness that's storing with your trauma when you was child? You not remembered that. So today I want to share with you about this art chanting. Are you interested? The art chanting is the 2-part. This is called 9 breathing exercise from the Tibet. But today I want to share the 2-part with you. First part is you raising your left hands. Yes, because these hands connect with our heart. That's put your palm here to your center, heart energy center. That's in middle of the chest. We know the heart is on the left, but the energy center on the chest. When you put it there, take a moment to connect, feel your heartbeat. Are you feeling that? When you feel your heartbeat, then take deep inhale. When you exhale, open your mouth with the sound of ah. Be aware your body shift, the energy shift, the body little bit calm. That's just simple. The part two, understand, that's when you hold it, you're doing that 3 times. But each time when you're doing that, you inhale, you hold it. When you exhale, you also pass before your next inhale. That create holding pass, create the gap. That gap help you, the nerve system get more centered, can reduce the stress, shift your body energy, shift your nerve system. So that's part. So today I want to commit you then to do this when you get the home in next 7 days. Each day you do 5 minutes. Then each this practiced first part, we call you chant with the vibration that open up your body. Then the second part, you put the palm in your heart, that connect with your heart, connect that pumping. How many times you connect your heart in the daily life? Probably, how many people do that? Zhang, oh, you do that, that's wonderful.
No, it's you.
Oh, but I have ladies raising hands. Yes. That is because we had from the scientific proof, also have memories, also that can bring a lot of gratitude, can raise in different vibrations in your body. So in next 7 days, I invite you to do that 5 minutes every day. As you finish 5 minutes, you can feel your body tingling. You can feel that tinglings, you can feel the emotion shift that help you reduce your daily stress and burning out. So you unlikely have the dinner next with Randall, probably you don't have that much chance. Not just like me last time, I was have Randall pass by me. I managed my fear without give up, sacrifice my barbecue chicken. But you can choose to practice this 5 minutes, the exercise to help you manage your stress, bring more peace. Thank you, everybody.
While we have you up here, why don't you do a plug for your workshop you have soon? Why don't you
Thank
tell us
you.
about that while you're up here?
Yes, I have all the workshop come out on Thursday. If you have time, it's a free workshop. It's use teaching Tibetan exercise night breathing. It's more details with the full moon because the workshop on this Thursday is called flower moon. Each month we have different name of the full moon. Last month is pink full moon. This month is a flower full moon with different energy. I will talk a little bit more in my workshop. If you are available, feel free to join me. That is 6:30 on May 23rd.
Perfect, thank you. And please
Yeah.
put Trello for us so we know how to get there. Yeah, of course, of course. All right, get up for Ria. All right, we have our next speaker coming up. Before we do that, let me get you in the back. One of these. Let's give some feedback to Ria with our QR code that we may have in front of us if you're online. Amber, just go to our lostcatoastmasters.org and find that speaker feedback form. Take a minute to do that. All right, we'll wrap up our comments. Perfect. Our next speaker is Alexei. He's in the Speaking Hall of Fame for the fastest turnaround time between speeches. He's an inspiration to us all. He gets up here, he just does it, no fear. To be determined. I'm sure there is a point and a title to your speech. Alexei, come on up here and tell us about your speech, please. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Speech 100. Welcome back.
So the story of this speech, late afternoon, Sunday, I discovered there are 2 open spots and nobody's taking them. I volunteered and took one. So just to save the meeting and the world. Now I'm at the level 3 right now, right in the beginning, elective. So combine several of them, try to involve public, maybe not as involving as some of us, but we'll try to stay in touch, plus some selective language. So overall, just combine few selected goals from the selective courses. So we'll try. Topic of today's speech is exactly what we discussed in the beginning. Quick overview of my current path with Toastmasters, my view on the process, learning process, and pros and cons from my point of view of how I do myself, and maybe some feedback or some quick info on general learning process in general from our brain perspective, based on what I know and a little bit with limited experience in this area. Mostly trying various practices like variations of meditations, etc. Self-control to a certain degree based on previous failures, and came to conclusion, yeah, sometimes you need it. Just, yeah. To reduce chances of failures, at least drastic ones, right? Like saying something wrong in the wrong place in the wrong time. Some of us been through that, right? So today's speech actually, the Toastmaster pass. Yeah, I guess we can start the clock. So I believe sharing experience really helps with making progress in any areas, study, sport, science, engineering, business, just in life in general. We are social creatures, so we live through interaction with others similar to us. That's how we learn, that's how we gain experience, and that's how we learn mistakes or learn how to avoid them. I believe many of us, at least some of us, stated here that the reason to come to this meeting was one mistake or another made, or series of mistakes, or failures or drawbacks that happened to some of us in certain areas, especially related to public speaking. Happened to me, just failed miserably a few times, so just overestimated myself, my ability to speak. We all speak since the day we were born. We know how to speak, and typically, naturally, you believe you are good in speaking because you speak, right? Then you come to the audience that could not be necessarily friendly, as used to be when you're surrounded by your mom, dad, sister, brothers, friends, right? And things can go wrong or not exactly as you expect. So it could be professional failure, failure to draw some funds, or other types of a more serious situation when some people can experience legal consequences of their actions. Some with legal background, I guess, pretty sure of such events. Just one wrong word can cause a lot in business or in life when it's the place is wrong. Unfortunately, I've been through such experience, just one wrong word, and it's, oops, paid certain price for that, and quite high price, actually. Happens. I mean, nothing drastical, but yeah, it's better was, yeah, if was able to control myself back then, back there, would be better off later on. Happens a lot in people's life. Now, if you ever been through such kind of mistakes or various kind of mistakes, you're not alone. Out of curiosity, I read a little bit about famous persons, most famous persons, and to my surprise, absolutely, maybe not all, but absolute majority of them started from total failures or is just total losers. Just to name a few, Abraham Lincoln went through all kinds of failures from his personal life and his professional life, failing to get elected while losing his loved ones, and only to get elected as a president to become the 16th president of the United States, one of symbols of America across the globe. Another one, you probably know this name, kind of little bit known guy, Albert Einstein. Started as a total failure. He did not speak till age 4. In school, he failed pretty much in every subject he studied. Same for the college. After that, he just was kind of roaming from one random job to another. But in the end, we know who is Albert Einstein, one of the most genius guys of all times that created this series that's right now is just pretty much in the center of many studies in schools. Next one on the list, Bill Gates. Actually, we all know Bill Gates, but his first try to start a startup failed. Just his device did not work just when the moment was the most critical, demoing to a potential customer, local authorities. He did not give up, continued, and we all know how he succeeded in the end. And we can go on and on and on. By the way, Charles Darwin was a total failure by his dad, according to his dad. He was totally frustrated because he's so disappointed his dad. He just didn't know what to do. Dad believed what he was doing is absolutely wrong. He was a failure in medical school. And again, we all know theory of Charles Darwin. We can continue. There are many of them. Henry Ford, by the way, before he succeeded, he went from one failure to another. Another one, you probably know, one of presidents of America, right? Bill Clinton. What I read, his first public speech was a big, huge failure. He learned from that, took steps to improve himself, and became one of most well-known public speakers in the world. So this was considered by many. And we can continue on and on and on. There are many examples of stories of success or failure. So not every failure is necessarily followed by success, but all stories of success, so most of them are always typically after a number of or series of failures. This is unavoidable. Many people that succeeded in their life said that you cannot succeed without failures. No way. There is no success without a failure. The point I'm making here is not to be afraid of failures. So this forum is a perfect forum for making such mistakes because this is a friendly environment, forgiving, and we have great feedback from people here, many actually here with a professional background related directly to public speaking, and just their feedback just great, just incredible. So don't be afraid, and we're all afraid of unknown. So first time I came here as everybody else, can I speak? I cannot speak. How is my accent? If I understood or not understood, do I look funny? Do I not serious? This is normal for all of us. And this place is to try all your mistake and correct them, most important, based on friendly feedback, in order to succeed when it comes to real life and real environment, whether it's business, change in your path, like as you know, Tom, you want to go on stage. It's super difficult, as everyone knows. What I hear about going on stage is very super complicated, super stress. But it's all doable if you work consistently and persistently. Thank you very much for your attention.
I'm lucky to be up here. So I think while everything's fresh in our minds, let's take 3 minutes to go around the table quickly with some quick comments and feedback for Alexei. Let's just do it. Yeah, because we don't have an evaluator, so it'll save us a little bit of time too on the back end. But no, let's just do verbal right now. I think let's just try to switch it. Yeah. Yeah. So who wants to give some feedback? Some quick feedback. Tom.
So I'm big on personal stories. You talked about this one word mistake that you made, but you just ran right over it. I wanted to hear about it. I would have started the speech off. Let me tell you about a story of mine. And this one word, something happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was so bad of an experience you don't want to talk about it, but it would have drew us in right away. And then you could have, the theme of your speech was, hey, you got to fall down to get back up. You got to fail to succeed. That would have set the tone, I think, but you would have a personal story just to pull us in right away. But you just sort of mentioned it and just went right off to it. So great speech on it, great conclusion, but boy, it would have next level if you would have just spent a minute taking us back to that story. Like, let me tell you about a story, how critical one word can be, and then tell us. I wanted to hear more. So that's my point.
Who's next? Stacy?
That's just looked at me.
Well, you've been looking at me. I thought you had a comment, yeah.
That too, because that was really the part also where your energy was the lowest, and then you jumped into like the examples of the people. It was like you came to life, right? And I just felt like I was on the edge of my seat. So, I mean, every time you speak, you get lighter, and your vocal variety is increasing. You're going up the end of the sentences. Your pace is good. You're smiling. Your eye contact very warm. My 3 words that came were confident, charming, and interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. And then, so, yeah, I just felt like it was good. And the only opportunity I had was, I was looking for your title, because when you started, I was a little lost. I'm like, wait, what's this about? Like, what's the story about? And then later I realized, oh, this is about mistakes. So something to Tom's feedback is really key. It's like you can hone that strong intro, so we're really grounded and know this is about mistakes and that story. That I love the way Tom said, oh, there's the segue, or you kind of tie in. I want to try to do that myself. Yeah, and I really liked it, and that was it.
Thank you. Amber, do you have anything to add? I don't want to hold you out because you're virtual, but any comments for Alexi?
I just wanted to say that every presentation I've seen from you, I've seen a lot of growth and improvement in terms of the pace as well as the storytelling. And so it's been inspiring to see. And thank you for signing up to give a speech today. I really enjoyed it.
Good job. Maybe one more and then we'll move on to our next speaker. Ria?
I wanted to say, the Alex speech did so much improvement. Then he's smiling and the hand, body language, even it's more funny. I was thinking, oh, that's the funny. It's compared at the beginning, the speech is so much improvement. That is inspiring, like Amber said. I just wanted to highlight. So great.
Very good. Round of applause for Alexi one more time. Thanks for being up here. I think my takeaways were similar, that there was kind of a long opening, and I know you were prefacing your speech, but I wasn't sure if you actually started your speech yet or not. And then you did, and then you said, start the time, and we were in like 2 minutes already, so I wasn't sure. And then you talked about your personal story, but like Tom said, you went right over it. I mean, that's what you learn in that story-worthy book, that you can expand that whole thing out to be most impactful for us. And the last thing was, I think it was really interesting with the different individuals, and to show that there's a lot of people that fail, but through perseverance and you know, a bit of being naive and thinking that something is easier than it really is in reality, you can be someone that's very impactful in whatever you want to achieve. So really good points, different elements, all different great speeches in their own elements. Okay, so you got a lot of material to work with there. All right, our next speaker, Maria. Everyone keeps taking my agenda up here, so I don't know what it's about, but Maria, tell us what your speech is about, and welcome to the stage, Maria. Thank you.
So thank you for preparing this thing. I have a heavy book today, and I will stop. Please don't start with the, because I wonder if the pathway introduction should be included in the speech, and maybe not. So good evening, dear Toastmasters, and and that's it for today. My name is Maria Kovalyova. I'm a life coach and current president of Toastmasters. Today, I will present on my second project of level 3 of Pathways, and I will encourage everybody to get involved in Pathways as a great system to track your progress in Toastmasters. And the purpose of the project for me is to practice a skill of connecting to audience, especially a new audience. And since I don't have a choice of audience, I have the best audience. So I decided to choose the topic that I hope it will be not very familiar for you guys. So here we can begin the timing. My title for the speech is T-word, and how it's important to spell it out fully and more often. I will talk about trauma. And I've been in coaching for a long time, and yet just recently I became aware that there is a phrase of T word. Like I knew only one F word, now it's T word. And the purpose of the speech also, I want to change your perception of trauma. I want to increase awareness of importance of this topic. When I say trauma, how do you feel? What sensation does it brings? For me, a year ago, it was a heavy topic I wanted to avoid. And I was intimidated in a meeting when a person said that everybody has trauma. And I was like, no, not everybody. Don't make myself be in this kind of group of traumatized people. And I felt like it was like a person wants to take away my freedom. It felt like I can be different. I can be a different person. And today I'm certified trauma-informed coach, started from yesterday. So I got my certification. It was a year of learning about how to get to my freedom through being aware of traumas. What is trauma? Trauma, in the words of Gabor Mate, the author of the books that I started my journey in Toastmaster with, trauma is not what happens to you. It's what happens inside of you as a response, a result to what happens to you. So it's not about events. When people say traumatic events, it means traumatic to somebody. There is no traumatic events, like objectively traumatic. So also I shared my experience a year ago, and today I had experience too, like very vivid, very emotional. I read some new about some new social media movement, Blackout 2024. And for some reason, it elevated so much emotions in me. My body was shaking, and it was reminding me of panic attack. And I thought, like, why? How close it to me? Why I'm reacting this way? It's just one piece of information that I intentionally I was looking for to understand what is it. And then I figure out I have to take care of my body first. It doesn't really matter what I'm thinking right now. I turned inward and tried to find my heartbeat. So yeah, it's quite close to what you're talking about. It was crazy. And so I took a moment to just be in it, in the moment with my heart, actually. And in 2 or 3 minutes, I noticed that my heartbeat beat is normal. So just attention to a body, my body brought me from this kind of traumatic experience. I want also to distinguish 2 types of trauma. Big T trauma is a acute, very serious event, one-time event that brings the post-traumatic symptoms to the person. And there is a chronic stress trauma or wounding, in the words of Gabor Mate, which is not recognized in our society. It's something even that we take as a value. Has anybody of you saw the job posting when it says, we are looking for those who thrive in a highly stressed environment? Like We are looking for a person that doesn't exist because it's not healthy to thrive under pressure. So when we are under pressure, when we are stressed, we lose our ability to think clearly. We lose our ability to care about ourselves. And how it's connected to freedom, I want to share another quote from Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, and psychiatrist who was in Nazis camps. Everything can be taken from man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And I want to ask everybody to pay more attention how you treat your emotions, how you can regulate your nervous system in order to be free and in order to be able to change your attitude or form your attitude to any circumstances in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Profound words tonight. Certainly no artifice with your words. It's very genuine. That's the word of the night, everybody. Artifice. All right, so let's spend a couple minutes to do a round robin for Maria. Then we're going to have time for about 3 volunteers for table topics. And then we'll have Stacy give her evaluation, and then we'll close it out. All right, so who would like to give feedback who has not given feedback with the previous round? Anyone that would like to speak up and give feedback that did not give feedback the previous round? Ray,
Yeah.
thank you.
So Maria, I thought you had great hands, something I'm working on, so I was really paying attention to that. I thought your voice was very clear, and you had a lot of clarity. And I liked your voice, your volume. I liked the personal story, and I thought it was a well-structured speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Who's next? VJ,
Okay,
perfect.
it's
Yes,
feedback, but I'm shy.
that's different perspectives.
So
Great.
one thing I heard, you wanted to connect with new audience on you. And you definitely connected, because I did not miss a single word. Usually I have problem keeping my attention for that long, but not today. So really great speech. Yeah.
Good job. Congrats on your new certification. I know you put a lot of hard work into that, and you're raising your family, and you have a lot going on, and you're the president of the club. Someone else would like to give a little bit of feedback? Melissa?
I was gonna say, I could really tell felt passionate about your topic tonight. And not just through your expertise, but it just came through the stories you shared and how you shared them. And I think that's why we all really invested in listening and staying focused.
Yeah. Thank you, Melissa.
And I love that book too. John, you're a different book. Oh, sorry, already you've got 2.
Yeah.
And the visual aid of those as well.
All right. Is that it? Anna, maybe, you want to give some?
Yeah, I think it was great speech. It was easy to stay engaged. It
Mhm.
was very interesting, and I love the references and the quotes from the books
Mm-hmm.
in right places and, right references. So that was great. I think overall, the speech very educational, but not boring.
And interesting to point out acute trauma, a big major event in someone's life that has lingering events versus persistent trauma. We are trained in this society to embrace that and to say, well, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, right? No, just suck it up and push through it. You'll be a better person. So we'll see, especially in the Silicon Valley. Alexi, your comment, and then we'll close it out.
Just one word. So if you get stuck, it happens to all of us. Right? Actually, no one's pointing to me. There's always chance to miss something, forget something. Just back up the solution. Just get over it. Nobody would notice. Psychiatrist forgotten, whatever. There's another word. Whatever, doesn't matter. If you do not stop, audience does not feel it. So I think it's for most of us, it's hard to memorize everything word to word, especially in short notice.
Yeah, we don't know what we don't know, but it is.
I know it,
Right. It's just also you speak multiple languages as well. So you're probably trying to search for that perfect word. All right. Thank you very much. We'll have you come up for evaluation at just in a moment here. So let's go to our table topics. All right. So table topics, Rhea, we have time for 3 table topics. Anna, excuse me, table topics. She was looking at me like, what am I doing? Anna, welcome. Anna's excited. She's a new member. She's trying this for the first time. So
Good.
let's have some
Yeah.
fun.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anna Fine. I'm a former nurse and a person who thrives under stress and been detoxing, and I'm in real estate and still in high stress environment, which I still think I thrive under, but I think it's just a intoxication. So I'm so surprised that my topic, it completely connects to everything. Totally spontaneous because I didn't actually read, honestly. I prepared this half an hour before I left home. So it was totally on the whim. But the topic that I wanted to address was something that I thought about because last week I had a great pleasure attending a speaker event. The presenter is a coach for public speaking. And her presentation was so engaging. And we were 2.5 hours completely engaged all the time. And I was blown away. And she shared many techniques and little tips and exercises to overcome the anxiety of public speaking and not just public speaking in general, just achieving something new and, going towards new goal. And I thought at that moment, there's no better place to bring this in, better than this forum. So when I saw there is a table topic vacancy, I thought, how do I spin it to make it into a table topic? Multiple questions. So this is new to me. So forgive me if I'm doing it wrong. I tried and I did ask ChatGPT to help me. So here the exercise. So we talked about vibration and we talked about frequency, and I'm totally into this whole spiritual realm. I love it, and I've been studying it for 5 years. So I strongly believe, and I know it to be true. So, and you're talking about body, and you're talking about breathing, and how do we calm our body? And here is a great exercise. Please, I'm asking of all of you to take a minute to recreate a memory with a feeling, not just a picture, but a feeling of you achieving something amazing, you being proud of yourself, your proud moment, not of your child, not of somebody else. You are being proud of you. It could be something recent. It could be something from childhood, any time of your life. Think about it and feel it. And so who are my volunteers? I need probably 3. Okay, Melissa. All right, so if you can come up, please, and share with us the physical sensation. First of all, share the experience and I want you to leave that moment and describe how you feel. Okay.
When I describe the moment that I just thought of, I feel my heartbeat quicken a little bit, but with like a flicker of excitement. I feel light on my feet, and I feel just excited. And those feelings come from a time where I applied for a grant for a field trip for some students. I worked in a district that had about 95% of students that qualified for free and reduced lunch, meaning we were low income students. We didn't have a budget for field trips. So I scoured and found some really cool programs. And one is the O'Neill Sea Odyssey, which takes kids, you can do like a unit on marine science. You take the kids out on the Sea Odyssey and you have an adventure and they get to learn and see and be on the ocean. And having that memory is a special one because I got to get the kids there. And some of them, I was telling my husband, had never been to the beach and they were trying to run in the sand with just their socks. And I was like, no, guys, go ahead, take off your socks. Like, let's enjoy the beach. And just watching them roll around on the section in the middle of the catamaran, the netting part, and the joy on their faces. And they were bigger kids. I mean, they were 5th graders, so they were too cool for school a lot of times, but in that moment they were kids and they had these smiles that I don't think I'll ever forget. So that's a time that I felt proud. Mhm.
Thank you so much. Who's my next volunteer?
Amber's online too, just. in case.
Amber?
Sure, I can go.
So can you please first share the experience, and I want you to artify your experience vividly and describe physical sensations in your body.
To artify? Actually,
That's
I'm not.
that's the verb from the artifice. That's our word today. Well, just
Oh.
pretty much like recreate your memory and your feeling and share with us how it actually changes when you talk about it and you feel it, how it changes the current state of emotion you're in and affects your mood.
Yeah, happy to share that. When you asked us all to think about, a recent memory, the first thing that came to mind for me was when I finally walked across the stage when I earned my PhD a couple of years ago. It had been a really long and grueling process since I was 18 years old and decided that I wanted to pursue research and ultimately earn my PhD. It's something that you have to think about several years before you even start applying because there's particular experience or test scores that you need to get. And so about 10 years after I had made that decision, finally walking across the stage, as well as all of the micro traumas, as well as big T's that had happened throughout graduate school that could have resulted in me dropping out more than once. And the fact that I was able to persist, it felt like an incredible accomplishment. It felt like I can really do anything I set my mind to, as well as I felt so free and hopeful about the future. Perhaps maybe a little bit naive. I kind of thought the hardest part was behind me and looking ahead, everything was easier. And in some ways that is the case since things are more under my control now than with graduate school. But that was one of my happiest moments, and I was unable to control my joy in that moment several years ago.
Can I ask her more questions or do I go with the next
Just
person?
one more and then we gotta move on.
Okay, well,
To the next speaker.
well, next person then, somebody who actually struggles with anxiety of public speaking. I want that person.
I think that's everyone.
Okay, somebody can go. So I just want to mention this is a little bit difficult to, switch to a different person because it meant to be going with the same person, but I tried to involve. So since you all were given time a little bit to think about that moment, assuming you already thought and felt it, I want you to briefly share that experience, share that sensation, that feeling in your body, exactly what you feel, where, in what part of your body, and tell me how you can use this feeling, take it with you, and kind of pull it out of your pocket every time you experiencing fear of something new, and just bring that good feeling, the proud feeling, to help you overcome that.
Let me repeat if I understood correctly. So when I feel anxiety, you want me to describe that and how do I use it?
No, I want you
Sorry.
to describe the proud moment of your life.
Okay.
Go back in that memory and feel that excitement, that happiness, that, proud, that sensation. And now take it with you, bottle it, and see how you can use it in the moment when you feel anxious. And you can kind of pull it out of your head or pocket or somewhere and recreate that feeling.
Okay.
So you can start from that moment, the proud moment.
I can share very recently something that I think I achieved and I did good. 2017, physically something happened to my body. I was not able to stand without my leg shaking. I went to hospital, they couldn't figure out nothing. But now I play, and 2 years ago, I picked up, 1.5 years ago, I started volleyball slowly. And then 1.5 years ago, pickleball, and recently started cricket. I never played before. This is new for me, all games. And I play at around 5 times a week, 2 to 3 hours. So when I look back, this is really great thing for me because I have more energy than I had in my 20s or even my 30s. And when I look at new challenges, I think that's what also motivated me to come here too. That okay, I did not have confidence that I'll come back to this stage, but I did not give up. I kept trying. I used to go for hiking to build strength, and I used to walk on my toes because I couldn't put my feet straight. So I built my muscles slowly, and now I am where I am. So I can take this learning and this feeling, and that's why I'm here, because I know I'm afraid. Even when I'm coming here, my heart rate is increasing, blood is flowing in my head, but I know I can do it if I keep trying.
Awesome. Just a quick conclusion. The
Yeah,
point
Anna,
of
come on up,
this-
come on up.
The point of this is to, so for each and everyone has something, more than one thing probably, but something significant that makes you really excited and proud about yourself. And the point of this exercise to bring it to surface so you can easily reach to that feeling when you under stress, when you hesitate, when you doubt yourself, when you're about to embark on a new journey to achieve a new goal. So make that feeling and that sensation. I really want you to focus when you're alone and you can do this sensation in your body. What do you feel? And remember that feeling so you can easily recreate it. And that will help you along with the breathing exercises, something that will be at your fingertips to like your own tool to help you, calm your nerves and remind you, you can do it.
I love it. Thought this would be a regular meeting. We're getting inspired by you and tying everyone's personal stories together. I mean, that's what really resonated, right? Melissa sharing about how she got, the kids that may not have done that on their own to a special place for a special experience. VJ talking about your journey, very personal journey, where you had some issues and you didn't think you'd be able to stand again, or you didn't know what was going on. Even the professionals didn't know. And just everybody, right? It's just amazing, right? Really is an Amber, your trials and tribulations. We're so proud of you for your PhD, and look at you now, right? You're trying to kick off a big company, and hopefully you're saving many people that are struggling with sleep apnea and other issues that are very impactful for people's quality of life. Amazing stories. All right, with that, let us do a quick vote on the form and put down one of the names. Not the best, but maybe the one that just kind of resonated with you most. These are off the cuff, 1 to 2 minute speeches that everyone participated in. So let's put down a name and we'll get ready to bring up Stacy to give an evaluation. Very creative. All right. All right, wrapping up our names. Good. I know it's a tricky one. Right. This is a noun and trying to switch it, but it's like clever, artful, dishonest. What are we trying to say here? All right, let's welcome up Stacy to give the evaluation for Ria. Stacy.
Today was great. Really enjoyed all of the speeches, and no one had artifice
in their hearts. Ria, it was great to actually, I'm so glad that I saw your first speech and today's speech. I loved the creativity of the first speech, but I really was engaged this speech, like really a significant improvement. And what came away, my words that came from me were insightful, joyful, open and sincere. I mean, and your joy, your smile is infectious. So when you smile, it makes us want to smile back at you. And it's amazing how smiling at a speech makes it re-engages us. So just your whole body presence and aura engaged me. And I think it engaged everyone else. When I look at the list of things, eye contact, your pace, right, was good. Your vocal pitch wasn't monotonous. You know, you went up and down and you had good gestures. So really like well presented. You engaged the audience. You had us do an activity, right? You asked, are you interested? Which you know how much I love questions, right? It's like, oh, now I'm awake, right? Yes, I'm interested. And then, so that was just really fulfilling for me too, as well as watching you. I don't know why I wrote this down. Word choice. I love the word tingling. I don't know. There was just like, oh, I haven't heard that word in a while. Tingling. So, and you were just, it was just interesting. And as far as like the content, I like you started with 14 million, right? Suffer from anxiety. You did a good job considering some people may not have seen your speech. Thank you. I think it was important that you kind of gave the context, right? I loved your title. The titles, titles mean a lot, right? Think of even the newspaper and the heading. So I read it and it was like the weapon for fighting stress. I'm like, what is it? Tell me, right? So even just a title can mean so much, right? Get us really curious. Clear hook. I loved every time you said, so today, does that mean I have 1 minute? Oh, 30 seconds. Oh, God. Are you interested? Okay. So the one thing, like I really liked your close, but I wanted more of it. I wanted a stronger close. And the key word for the whole thing, at least my takeaway, and maybe I didn't get it right, was ah, right? The word ah. And so since that was such the powerful keystone to the speech, I wanted to hear that word more. I wanted to hear it throughout the speech and I wanted it wrapped up with ah. Now you ended with two strong words, find peace. I loved that. It was clean, crisp, but I wanted ah. I want to leave with that, and I liked how you told us, 2 times a week, it was prescriptive, but I wanted to come back to that feeling and hear that word more. So that was just what I was craving. Yeah, thank you.
Great evaluations, and I love the energy, the animation, right, with the hand gestures and just leaning in and out, and just the variety of your presence up here. It's amazing. So yeah, both of you, but you. I was speaking of your evaluation. All right, well, let's close this out. We got a couple minutes left. We will welcome Ray up to talk about how we did with timing. Ray.
All right, thank you, Toastmasters. I'm Ray, and I was the timer tonight. So Ria, you performed perfectly, 6:26. So you're right in the time frame. Alexi, 6:15. So you were great as well. And Maria, 6:26. So perfect. And Melissa with the table topics, 1:26. Perfect. Amber, 1:43. And VJ, 1:48. I love the personal story. That was great. And then Stacy, 27 seconds over. Yeah, 3:27. But great feedback. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ray. You did. Chirag, how do we do with our filler words tonight?
Right, so I'll admit I forgot to do the filler words for the table topics because I was engaged with the topic. I'll go with the speeches. Ria, you didn't have any arms and ahs, but you had so's, 5 so's. And then no other like or ands, none of that. Alexi, you had 7 ahs, 4 so's. And then I also noticed that you say et cetera, like a couple of times, and then you also said on and on and on a couple of times. So I don't know if those are considered filler words, but just something to be, yeah. And then Maria, you had 5 arms, 5 ahs, and no other filler word like so and but. So, and then evaluation, Stacy, you had 5 ahs, yeah.
All right, thank you, Sharad.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for the attention to detail. Tom Grammarian.
Thank you, Chris. Great job tonight by everyone. Couple things, just if I want to be nitpicky. Ria, when you were talking about people with anxiety, you said without aware of it. I think you meant to say without being aware of it, right? And trauma as a child, you not remember. I think you meant you don't remember. I like how you said, though, over the next 7 days, I invite you to do it. When we're talking about the exercise, I like how you use the word invite. You could have said, I want you to do it, or I'd like you to do it, but invite the invitation. I like how you did that. Alexi, Shirag stole my thunder. And we can continue on and on and on. And then et cetera, et cetera. No good. So, yeah, not necessarily filler words, but there's better use of, I know you want to sort of get to the next point, but try and avoid sort of those shortcuts, if you will. But I did like how you said there is no success without failure. That really resonated with me. Maria, you were talking about the T word and the F word, and you said, I knew only one F word. I think you better would have said, I was only familiar with one, the F word. Said familiar instead of new. Would have been a little better. When you're talking about your panic attack, I took a moment to be with my heart. That was very nice. I like how you said that. Anna, when you said it was when you're preparing for it, it was totally on a whim. I like that. How you use that sort of slang, but it was appropriate. And then BJ, when you said, I know I can do it if I keep trying. I like that, but that is so true. If I can do it, you can do it. And every time you drive here, you're going to be a little less nervous each time. And over time, you get up here, you'll find out that you'll be accomplished before you know it. So keep trying.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Alexi, general evaluation.
So it's a general evaluation of our meeting without artifice of pretense. I would say it was going really well. Now, Amber, thank you for a good word. I guess it's encouraging for all of us. And I guess we can consider it as a positive return on investment on your $100 into this club.
Good ROI, nice.
Yep, you're right on target for your startup. No, but really, it helps knowing that it just it's been something practical in real life. Because we talk, right? And good to know that it really helps in real situation.
Thanks.
So yeah, really great introduction involving like just public got involved. So I believe it really helps, like makes our meetings more alive. People get involved. So feeling that we're all part of this meeting, not just one person standing on the podium and talking, everybody's listening. So I think it's important, like sort of create this cooperative environment, friendly. Yeah, Maria is just, the door is a great example, right? Way to freedom, inspirational speech, right? The freedom is over there. Pass that door. Here, right? Not there. No, go back. Okay. It's a matter of personal interpretation, right? Yeah. freedom for one is kind of whatever. We can continue. Yeah, so yeah, and then you just turned this table topic into performance and so on. It was great. Like people got involved, and it's not just a task to complete. Like I think people got deeply involved, right? And by the way, some of topics they just were really touchy, just felt it, especially kids, right? And making kids happy, what can't they just a bigger goal in this life? Those actually got nothing, at least something when we can. That's great. This is one of an example when each of us can contribute to something bigger than just money, whatever small our interest. This small lives, this is our future, right? We all come and go. That's the next generation. So overall, these meetings, what I like about them, they turn into a live event when people involved. So especially this feedback, this idea works really well. And Chris, I'm just happy that you supported it because it provides lots of really useful input, right? So of course, whatever we have in the forms after the meeting helps, but when people talk live, it's just typically more informative, more informal, and just because it's communication, right? Besides words, there is emotions, you feel it, and you can see kind of what effect or impact made your speech on the audience. So I think it's, yeah, just it's a really great innovative practice for this particular meeting. So particular Chris just supported it, recognized it, which is important, probably finance guy, right? That's why you need to see the profit right away when it comes from. But it really helps. At least I felt this way. So cannot say about everybody, but yeah, I think it's helpful. So overall, the meeting right in time, all roles were performed well, and surprisingly, everybody was on time. That's everybody here, right? So everybody was on time this time. So it's a big change versus I personally was a champion just in time missing for speeches, whatever. So we're all learning. So overall, performed good with innovative kind of parts here, like the live feedback, performance instead of just dry topic, just speaking. That's really great. It's, by the way, it's a good innovative part here as well. So typically, let's give this task, that task. Yes, and we can pick up from there, I guess.
Thank you, Alexei. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much. Good job tonight, speaking and evaluating. I love this club. There's always new faces. We have a lot of familiar faces. There's so many things we learn. We don't just speak, but I learned so much from all of you, your life experiences, your perspectives, and you help me change my mindset and my thinking every single day. So I can't wait to do my speech and get up here next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Incorporate more storytelling to make it as engaging as possible and just constantly get better and learn. So let's welcome up our Madam President to close us out. Maria.
It was funny how Alexei, said that everybody was on time and you kept talking. Be different. Thank you for bringing. Thank you for bringing the storytelling to the table, and I want to remind that the most interesting story is yours, Alexei. It was yours in your story, not the Abraham Lincoln and all these people who they already have a lot of sayings about them, about what they accomplished. Tell us your story. And I'm practicing too with storytelling, so 2 stories today in my speech. So, sound. Thank you for bringing it, and now we can practice our sound while we are speaking, right? It's a joke. It's a joke about and and so is intentional. I'm healing my throat trauma. Sound is proven to heal throat trauma, and I notice how different people here today didn't open their mouths when asked to do sound. Like you can hear like so you can practice at home. And going back to freedom, here the space where we are free from artifice, and we are free to go. But we come here every time, every meeting, and thank you for being persistent. Thank you for being loyal to your goals. Thank you.